Ndinofunga kuti ndinoda kuchengeta mari dzangu, ndinoda kugadzira upenyu hwangu. Havasi kutarisa panze kuti ndinoona varume vanochengeta vanondipa mari kuti kwete.
During the Gota session led by local chiefs Chapoto and Chisunga, together with chiefs Mpuka and Buruma from neighboring countries, boys were warned against drug and substance abuse, bullying, same-sex relationships, and laziness.
Abana batu bayenera kukula mamene ife tunakulira makolo yatu anali kukusungira. Kuli inkhani ya gender violence, kuli inkhani ya underage defilement, kuli inkhani ya wakulu kuchita defile vana vang'ono, kuli vana vang'ono kuchita defile vana anzawo, vana wapasukulu. Chamene chaononga makhalidwe yathu yakale chimozi ni mafoni. Nkhani amene mabwera pa mafoni yaononga vana.
Kuti paninge pachidzidziswa zvakadai titeerere, tirespect vakuru vedu, tsika nemagariro, taudzwa kana kumboresa chanzi madzimambo anomboreswa so, asi noti madzimambo chete, noti vanhu vakuru vese vanofanira kupiwa kuremekedzwa naika.
From the Nanga, the First Lady proceeded to address the community, where she applauded them for their resilience and their sterling work in protecting natural resources through initiatives such as the Campfire and UNDP GEF programs. She also commended the Second Republic led by His Excellency President Emmerson Mnangagwa for creating an enabling environment for communities to develop.
Kwemakore mazhinji dunhu rino rakaramba riri pamucheto wekufambira mberi kwenyika. Zvisinei pasi peutungamiriri weSecond Republic unotungamirwa na Dr. E.D. Mnangagwa, vakatora nzira yebudiriro iyo yekuti muvakirwe nhaka yekuno kumbire. Ini ndauya kuzotenda kuratidza kufara kwangu nebasa rakanaka ramuri kuita rekuchengetedza zviwanikwa zvechisikiro mudunhu rembire rakapiwa zvakawanda. Muchaona zvakare kana kuti tourism yedu ichakura, kuri kuti tagadziridza tafambidzika zvakanaka, matorisi iwayo achizofamba chachiona kuno, nekuti kwava nemuwezwa, kwava nenzira, kwava nechiedza kukanyemba kuye. Mbire ndeimwe yamatunhu akaiswa nehurumende pamberi kuti budiriro ikurumidze. Zvakatsanangurwa muVision 2030 iyo inotsvaka kuisa Zimbabwe senyika ine mari yepamusoro yepakati panosvika gore ra2030. Ichashandiswazve kuburikidza neNational Development Strategy 2 yatakupinda tichibva NDS 1. Iyo iri kukoshesa mararamiro ekumaruwa, kugadzikana kwemamiriro ekunze, kuchengetedzeka kwezvakatipoteredza.
Mother Zimbabwe applauded the community for its social development while lauding traditional leaders for preserving cultural heritage.
Tinoda kuti tive nedzidziso yakakwana yakasimba, nokuti zivai kuti isusu nemhuka dzedu tichagarisana isusu. Tinoda kurima, tinodawo kuwana cheuviri, vana vawane kugara kwakanaka. Zvinove Zimpax, isusu mhuka dzedu tinodzida, togarisana nadzo sei? Ndosaka muri pano kuti tizive uye kuti ava vanoziva here kuti kana mhuka kana yadai yakuti yakuzondiruma kana kunditunga kana kuti yakutondidzingirira, vanoziva seiko? Vanoziva seiko kuti vomhanya papi, votiza, vokwira mumuti, vodini? Zvese izvozvo tida kuti vagare kuno vane ruzivo rwakafanana irworwo. Kune mhuri dzakati kuti dzatsikwa nenzou kuno. Pano nhasi tauya nenyaya yeGota Nanga, hatiiregi nokuti kune vari kuzvagwawo, vari kuuya nevari kukura nevari kubuda vachienda. Tine rombo rakanaka, madzimai emadzimambo vabva kuZambia nokuMozambique vatipa chenjedzo kuvana vedu vasikana. Tikati irombo rakanaka kuwana muchidzidziswa nemadzimambo nemadzimai avo, imi vakomana uko nemi vasikana uko. Vataura vana mai vakati nesuwo tinazvo, asi tatine shungu nemhaka yekuti ndana amai rige tinotaura vana vasikana vekuzimbabwe kuti izvi nezvakadai nezvakadai hazviitiwi.
Zimpac's Director General Professor Edson Gandiwa thanked President Emmerson Mnangagwa for committing to the Zimoza Trans-Frontier Conservation Area (TFCA) initiative, which seeks to manage shared natural resources across Zimbabwe, Mozambique and Zambia, with a focus on community economic inclusion and development.
Isu seZimpacs ticharamba tichipusha agenda yekuti tichengetedze mhuka dzedu, but patinodzichengetedza sekugara kwamunotiudza kuti ngazvive zvishandura upenyu hwevanhu, zvishandure economy. Ticharamba tichimake sure programs include the youth and we unlock those so that we are able to coexist.
A representative from Campfire talked about how junior rangers are educating communities on coexistence between humans and wildlife. Deputy Minister of Environment, Climate and Wildlife, Honorable John Paradza, paid tribute to the First Lady for visiting hard-to-reach areas, implementing life-transforming initiatives. Minister of State for Provincial Affairs and Devolution, Mashinal and Central Province, Honorable Christopher Magomo, echoed the same sentiments. Several women from the district took part in a cookout competition where they exhibited their prowess in preparing locally available dishes. All participants walked away with certificates of participation, while the top 3 winners were presented with gifts by the First Lady. The event saw community members engaging in sporting activities, including soccer, volleyball, and tug of war. All winners walked away with prizes. Entertainment was provided by a Zambian traditional dance group, while a grade 5 pupil, Godfrey Sango, delivered a captivating poem.
Maongira enyu ashika padununu mativi mana ose enyika yakasvika huwi ngirozi yetariro takaiona ichibururuka nemakore ndiyo mha pamurombo wakakwegura vakaremara nherera shirikadzi nevana vechikoro.
Colette Msanyera, ZBC News, Kanyemba.
Prophetic Healing and Deliverance Ministries leader Walter Magaya has been remanded in custody after he appeared in court today facing several allegations of rape and fraud involving more than 40,000 United States dollars. Magaya is jointly charged with his wife on fraud charges.
Magaya arrived at the Harare Magistrates Court this morning. The PhD leader was arrested on Saturday on allegations of rape and fraud. Magaya was arrested together with his bodyguard, who is now facing allegations of assault after he allegedly attacked the police officers who effected the arrest. According to court documents, Magaya is facing 5 counts of rape and 13 counts of fraud involving more than 40,000 United States dollars. Magaya is not new to media attention. In 2018, he sparked outrage after claiming that he had discovered a cure for HIV and cancer, but he later apologized. Magaya, together with his wife Tendai, appeared before Harare Regional Magistrate Mrs. Marewana Zogofa, where his legal team argued that Magaya has been over-detained. Meanwhile, the suspects are expected back in court this Tuesday. Peter Chivima, ZBC News, Harare.
Now, Zimbabwe is seeking to expand intra-Africa trade after recording transactions worth over $600 million with countries that are part of the African Continental Free Trade Area in September this year.
Latest figures released this Monday show that there is potential for Zimbabwe's industry to expand its market base in the region that boasts over 1.3 billion people. Exports to the region during the month under review stood at over 215 million United States dollars, comprising tobacco, gold, nickel, iron and steel, chrome, and sugar, among others. Zimbabwe National Chamber of Commerce ZNCC President Mr. Douglas Karoro says intra-Africa trade is important for Zimbabwe in light of the tariff reviews and proposed easing of trade barriers in the AfCFTA region.
We are talking of a market that's over 1.3 to 1.4 billion people. And you can imagine, as we operate in our own Zimbabwe at about circa 16 to 17 million, it means that our private sector in Zimbabwe, our local companies, will have a massive access to a much bigger and broader market. I think you're already starting to see that from the political leaders to the business leaders, everyone is talking about increasing intra-Africa trade, right? Because of the geopolitics that's happening around us globally. It means as Africa, we've got to start encouraging trade between our African countries.
However, Zimbabwe imported more goods in the region at over $400 million US, with the imports dominated by machinery and equipment for industry retooling.
If we look in terms of FCTA region, there is a high potential for Zimbabwe to benefit from trading in that, because this would actually boost the market for Zimbabwean products. But what Zimbabwe have to do is have to improve the competitiveness of its product, reduce cost of production for it to be able to compete easily and quickly in terms of the continental free trade area. Otherwise, if we don't improve those things, we end up being a market for other countries in terms of retailing products.
The AFCFTA, which is headquartered in Accra, Ghana, was established in 2018 as a member organization of over 50 countries whose mandate is to bolster intra-Africa trade, lower cost of trading, and facilitate the free movement of people and capital. Zimbabwe is a member of the continental body whose aims are also towards industrialization, job creation, and economic growth by facilitating a competitive African region. Stanley James, ZBC News, Harare.
Government's commitment to safeguarding national energy security by diversifying the energy mix is on course, with the expansion of liquid petroleum gas storage facilities by the National Oil Infrastructure Company in Harare progressing well. The details.
The latest statistics by the Zimbabwe Energy Regulatory Authority ZERA indicate double-digit growth in LP gas consumption by Zimbabweans on a yearly basis, and this consumption is expected to reach a record 120 million kilograms this year, compared to 70 million kilograms consumed last year. To harness national energy security and diversify the energy mix, the National Oil Infrastructure NOIC is expanding LP gas storage facility at its flagship facilities in Ruwa industrial area to satisfy future demand and guarantee security. A visit to the site this Monday witnessed the contractor on site to install additional tanks.
Right now the contractor is on site installing an additional 4 tanks and upgrading our system, our storage from 650 tons to 2,000 metric tons. And here at NOIC Ruwa Depot, we store, we dispatch, and we also receive products for the Zimbabwean nation.
NOIC Commercial Director Christine Chikwati described the project as essential in advancing government's seamless goal to widen the distribution and consumption of clean energy sources.
We've got the LPG depot facility in Ruwa, which we are upgrading from 650 metric tons to 2,000 metric tons. We anticipate to complete the project by end of this year, to start operating first quarter 2026. And in the long run, we're looking at enabling our operators in the LPG sector to have storage and handling facilities. In our storage facilities, we'll offer throughput agreements for those that are willing to come through and store their product with us.
The facility is said to be the largest gas storage infrastructure in the country and dovetails with government's goal to sustain the country's energy security, but also ensure universal access to clean and affordable energy needs, as NOIC is also constructing mini storage facilities across the country to facilitate seamless distribution of gas. Owen Mandova, ZBC News, Ruwa.
Now, the 6th ordinary session of the 6th Pan-African Parliament PAP has started in Midrand, South Africa. This time, the focus is on coordinated approach to tackling challenges facing the continent, such as food security and conflict. Ian Troma is in Midrand.
More determined than ever to fulfill its mandate, the Pan-African Parliament is back in session in Midrand, South Africa. There is more vigor for the Pan-African Parliament to fulfill its mandate, which is anchored on inclusive development.
We are developing a model law on soil management. We're also doing a model law on issues of gender and equality. We still have challenges with climate change. You can see the weather patterns, the heat, and I can see that things are not really improving So we're going to interrogate those issues very, very deeply.
Africa is not alone in this critical journey. It is the support of the global community as represented by the guest of honor at the official opening ceremony of the 6th ordinary session of the 6th Parliament.
We in the International Council for Peace and Tolerance, which brings together more than 100 parliaments, we are proud of this pub, which represents a pivotal corner in our parliament system, and also shares with us to make the legislative diplomacy part of the culture of peace and tolerance, and also to detest terrorism and extremism.
For the next 2 weeks, this august house is expected to engage in robust debate, but not just a debate, but what matters most to the people of Africa. Ian Zoma, ZBC News, Midrand.
Remember, you may catch up on all the stories that we are running here tonight and many other stories that we are tracking for you here on ZBC TV by logging on to our website at www.zbcnews.co.zw. Across all social media platforms, we may find us. Our handle is at ZBC News Online.
All right, we have more stories to come on this bulletin, and this is what you can look forward to. Where in Bulawayo, where schools are converting dormant land into profitable student-run agricultural business units. We'll find out how exactly they're doing that and what it means for other schools. And later on in sport, 3 US Hotspurs players set for a trial stint in Belgium next year. We'll be giving you the latest on who they are and how they have done so far at the marvelous Nakamba Academy sponsored team. Well, be sure to join us for that and a whole lot more when we come back.
Vanoda valisi ziitai aye, varimi vese itai aye, vanoda go itai aye, simuza go rako, kurumiza 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 kurumiza, nogona kungoti oyo, vavalisi zipada moyo, manyai vana manyina na baba, kurumiza 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 kurumiza, mbeu kwayo rikuvalisitsi. Airo nezvivukuto kana tsikitsi kana zvirwere ende nokupa harvest. Apa ndiri kurevesa very honest. Never lisidzi itai aye, varimi vese itai aye.
Mwaka uno tenga mbeu yako ku Valley Seeds usimudze goho rako. Valley Seeds vauchiki vembeu yechibage yepana nepioneer goros ma-traditional grains nema-vegetable seeds ose anopa goho repamsorosoro. Valley Seeds, where farming meets the farmer.
Welcome back. The Alpha and Montrose communities in Insiza district of Matabeleland South Province are excited after the connection of the two areas to the national electricity grid.
At Alpha and Montrose communities in Insiza district, a business center, a primary school and a clinic have been connected to the national grid courtesy of government's rural electrification program being implemented nationwide.
Tinotofara chaizvo kana tatoita magetsi sezvizvi uye nekombiyuta tatopiwa takuzovaratidzawo kuti ICT zvinenge zvichifamba sei.
Rural Electrification Agency, RIA Acting Chief Executive Officer Mrs. Felista Makumbinde said by 2030 all the rural areas would have been electrified with one form of energy or another.
We are moving forward
towards the achievement of Vision 2030. And according to His Excellency Dr. E.D. Mnangagwa's mantra of leaving no one and no place behind.
The government says it is determined to transform lives in rural areas under the inclusive development mantra, urging the community to safeguard electricity infrastructure.
This development marks a significant milestone in our collective journey toward improved livelihoods, better learning environments, and community empowerment.
Matabeleland South Province has not been left behind in these developmental initiatives, in line with His Excellency's mantra, leaving no place and no one behind.
In commissioning this, I am fully wanting to acknowledge the fact that the President himself is driving this vision of 2030, where in the case of schools, we are not going to wait for electrification until 2030. We are going to do it by end of next year, 2026. Every secondary school, every primary school will be electrified, given the President's mantra of saying, let's give our children a chance to catch up with those who are in urban areas. You want to educate your children to say, when you see somebody wanting to vandalize the electricity, report to the police.
The rural electrification program is in line with government's rural industrialization drive, meant to contribute towards the attainment of a middle-income society by 2030. Wadzanei Mandima, ZBC News in Caesar.
Now, the traditional school model in Bulawayo is undergoing a radical transformation as dozens of secondary and primary schools are converting dormant land into profitable and student-run agriculture business units. Let's get this report from Yolanda Moyo.
Schools across Bulawayo have established agriculture business units that are fundamentally transforming the classroom into an incubator for practical skills and entrepreneurship. This hands-on approach is reshaping the future workforce. From poultry to horticulture, learners are merging academic theory with real-world experience, enhancing learning outcomes.
With this new way of learning, you are learning about new green technologies. You are learning about methods that are helping us to be more equipped with the current climate change.
Agriculture kunceda indlela ezitshiyeneyo njengokuthi ngiyakwanisa ukuqasa yami business ngilima ama green pepper ngithengise ngenze ngikwazi ukuziphilisa lami inkukhu ngale siyakwanisa ukuthi sengikwazi ukuzinakekela.
Agriculture iyasinceda empilweni yethu because ngesikhathi ama job opportunities, you will not get job opportunities, and you can even give abantu imisebenzi bengalabo bangancedeka because we have to gain experience how to operate.
From this garden, as students are gaining skills ukuba ngabalimi sizaba maybe singakhula lathi singaba ngabalimisi.
The agri-school business units are not only driving academic engagement, but also generating critical revenue, lessening the financial burden on schools, and directly funding school infrastructure and feeding programs.
What we are doing as a school is, at first we do it for the school, we feed the school, we feed the learners, and the surplus we sell it to the surrounding community. The profits is able to cater for the vulnerable children. The children are being assisted by these small business units.
This holistic approach where students learn, produce and feed their community is a direct manifestation of government's commitment to the new education curriculum that ensures the system remains relevant, productive and rooted in our heritage for economic growth. Yolanda Moyo, ZBC News, Bulawayo.
Well, the team in Montrose is on standby to give us more news from that end. Marilyn, it's over to you.
Good evening and many thanks to you, Vicky. In our following report, the adoption of information communication technology by most rural schools in Matabeleland South has not only enhanced the quality of education, but has set the province on a transformative agenda.
It is becoming a common sight. Primary and secondary schools are being turned into digital hubs around the country. In that friends, Matabeleland South Province is leading with once regular village schools becoming information hubs. In City's area of Gwanda North, the local secondary school has become a model to all as it has smart classrooms, digital screens, computer laboratories and a modern library. CITES is not the only school that has adopted digital technology. Another primary school beyond Tuli River, Vela Primary School, has gone paperless with learners now using tablets instead of books. But what is of interest is another school in Gwanda Town, Senando Primary School, which has established a reading clinic where learners are now using digital technology to deal with non-readership.
This application teaches the learner how to read the word quicker and how to attack the word faster. This is a category that is called fill in the blank spaces. They will give a picture and say fill in the blank spaces. As you can see, he has filled in the word web. This application teaches the learner how to know how the word is spelled. And this one was one of the non-readers, but now he's improving.
For fishing games, there are words. There will be fishing words. There will be catching words, like somebody was fishing and then attacking. And then those words will be producing sounds. And then those sounds are the ones that are going to help the learners to read.
The initiative, which embodies the needs of the contemporary society and the implementation of Education 5.0 model, has set Senando Primary School as an example to many schools.
One of the greatest challenges that we face in our ministry has been the issue of non-readers. And this is what this school has naturally attacked. And as I was getting a brief, they told me they were sitting at around 11.5% of their non-readers. But by this time, this year, they have reduced that percentage to around 5.7. So it tells you this is a very good innovation and digitally connected. And one of the things why you then find our children so happy, it is because we have taken on board technology.
With government on a drive to promote ICT in schools, the adoption of digital technology in rural schools like Senando may be key in the attainment of an upper middle income society by 2030. Providence Maranelli, ZBC News, Gwanda.
Livestock farmers in Chirezi have hailed the establishment of a beef processing plant in the area, saying it is in line with government efforts to revitalize the beef industry.
The Koala Park beef processing plant, which consists of a feedlot and an abattoir, was established in 2015 under a public-private partnership model and is currently adding value and earnings for small-scale livestock farmers in the Low Veld who were being taken advantage of by middlemen in the beef value chain. With more than 2,000 cattle being slaughtered every month, the plant does not just provide a market for local beef producers, but also supplies beef across the country.
We're slaughtering 160 cattle a day at the moment, of which 60 are supers from our feedlot, and the remainder is from our producers. We slaughtered 194,814 cattle since 2015 to September this year. That's averaging 1,517 cattle a month. We are hoping to improve that, and as of January 2025 this year, we have averaged 2,000 cattle a month. Our best month was September this year, where we slaughtered 3,190 cattle.
Once they get inducted, they start down there, and we've got a process. And once they get to here, this is basically their last 30 days before they get slaughtered. So from here, we feed them finisher mix, and then we send them in for slaughter.
Following the ban of cattle movement from Chirezi to other parts of the country, livestock farmers in the area say the establishment of more such facilities is a welcome development.
Dambudziko ratinaro because munomu muChirezi I think tinongotengesa kukoala nyaya yemarket is another challenge. Tava ku-improvisa noku-innovata tichigadzirawo chikafu chedu so that at least it reduces the cost of production.
The establishment of the plant has also created employment for more than 400 locals.
Zvisene murume tichibatsirana but patakazoona basa zvinhu zvakabva zvatangawo kurerukawo zviri nani.
Locals mazhinji tanga tine problem yekuti mabasa chaiwanga asingawanike in this area.
Musha chawo takavaka musha wakanaka unoratidzika. Vanango vari kuenda kuchikoro vari kunyatsopfekawo zvakanaka.
To date, the cattle herd in Chiredzi stands at close to 200,000, with government also investing in infrastructure and initiatives to prevent cross-species disease transmission. Among the initiatives is the erection of a perimeter fence in a program targeting Gonarijo and other national parks across the country. Geima Tambo, ZBC News, Chiredzi.
And that report takes us back to Pocket Hill Studios in Harare, where Vicky is on standby. Vicky, it's back to you.
Many thanks, Marilyn. We'll catch up with you tomorrow. Now, British-Nigerian entrepreneur and cultural architect Kingsmaid, popularly known as Kingsmaid, says Zimbabwe is a jewel of Africa whose growth and global recognition depends on telling its own story.
Kingsmaid, whose real name is Dr. Adesegun Adeson Jr., is in Zimbabwe, where he reflected on Africa's identity and how a people-driven story of innovation and cultural connection can help project the continent to the world. Kingsmaid met the Minister of Youth Empowerment, Development of Vocational Training, Honorable Chinoma Chakaire, in Harare, as part of his visit to explore local talent and identify new opportunities to connect the African diaspora with Zimbabwe's creative and tourism industries.
We have young leaders in this country who are doing so great, who are doing amazing. The government is doing so well so far, and that's why Zimbabwe can be spotlighted as one of the countries to visit for 2025. So why not create our own system in our entertainment industry, our film industry, our food industry, our fashion industry, and promote the culture, the indigenous part of Zimbabwe.
He said Zimbabwe's creative and tourism industries offer immense potential for diaspora partnerships, particularly in promoting Afro-tourism, a sector uniting Africans on the continent and abroad.
It also goes to everybody in the diaspora space to prepare to come back home, to invest in their home country. And if you're Zimbabwean, it's time for us to look at how we can invest and support our government, support our grassroots, build infrastructures, creative infrastructures. This country is full of so many talents.
Kingsmaid is the founder of an annual 3-day music festival dubbed Afro Nation, which is meant to celebrate African music and culture. The festivals have also helped in connecting global audiences, boosting tourism in host countries, and elevated African artists to international prominence. Wellington Makonese, ZBC News, Harare.
When we return, we also take a look. In fact, we'll look at the arts, and then later on, we'll look at sport. Stay with us.
This is a people's game. They will be bubbling about this one for weeks and months to come.
Wherever you are, whatever your reason, it's on SuperSport all season long. Reconnect and stay connected to DSTV Compact and get the best football on us.
Now from the streets of Filabusi to the art galleries of Layo, young Zimbabwean artist Picasso Leon Siziwa is carving his own identity through artistic designs.
Born and raised in Filabosi, Picasso Leon moved to Bulawayo to pursue his art career, training at Mzilikazi Arts and Craft Center before becoming a resident artist at the Bulawayo Art Gallery.
I started painting and drawing when I was 9 years old. My father used to teach me how to paint, and then I went on to study art at Art and Crafts in Mzilikazi. And then after Art and Crafts, I came to Bulawayo Art Gallery. That's when I started to do art as a business.
Recognized as Best Upcoming Artist at the Fans' Choice Awards in 2022, Picasso Leon has made headlines for presenting portraits to global and regional celebrities, including DJ Mapurisa, Kapsa Dismo, Young Stana, and Nkosazana Dotam.
I specialize in painting portraits mostly. I've been presenting artworks to international artists who visit the country for events. I have presented artworks to international artists like CK from the United States. I've presented artworks to Young Stana, Setriu, Oscar Mbo.
Now shifting to local icons, he is working on portraits of President Emmerson Mnangagwa and other well-known persons.
I've started presenting artworks to local people like Saint Flo. He's one of the first artists that I've presented artworks to, and I am also working on our president and our Minister of Arts.
A painter, muralist, designer, and songwriter, Picasso Leon continues to shape his identity, painting history one portrait at a time from Filabosi to the world.
We are off to a break. When we return, we bring you sports. Stay tuned.
Final. Hakimi.
Drug and substance abuse leads to serious health problems, financial troubles,
accidents, injuries, relationship issues, and addiction,
which can be very difficult to overcome. Above all, drug and substance abuse is a crime.
Are you struggling with drug and substance abuse?
Do you know someone who is struggling with drug and substance abuse-related addiction?
Get assistance. Call now on the Drug and Substance Abuse Unit toll-free number
0801 4424.
For all mental health challenges, please call toll-free number 2024.
Don't let drugs control your life. Seek help and start your journey to recovery today.
The Mavuku community is on cloud nine after their club, Scotland, made history by clinching the Castle Lager Premier Soccer League title in their debut season.
From every site in Harare's high-density suburb of Mavuku, Scotland's victory is the talk of town. Even neighbours are seen greeting each other with the news, and the excitement is palpable among those who spoke to ZBC News.
We are the champions. Scotland, Pamberi D, Scotland, and they won a championship.
Scotland FC 2025 Arsikumira, next year 10 Rimo Tikushana na Sundowns. TP Mazembe, Takaenda, Zamairamba Zazia. Those are this command.
Now takuta inquiries machada flight kwenda kunana
Ohali, TP Mazembe, Sundowns, FNB, malevels asiyana ba. And also we encourage all the community. This is not for Mavu community, but for the whole nation. Let's come and rally behind our champions, Scotland FC, mabvira to the world.
Mukombe wakuya kumabhuku Scotland ndio timu hombe yemuZimbabwe inotora mukombe.
But it wasn't luck that brought Scotland this far. The team knew what they wanted and they got it with a solid strategy, investing in football and luring big names to their squad. The team's title win makes them the second team to claim the title in their debut season, opening a new chapter in the country's football history 4 decades after Black Rhino's historic triumph in 1984. Coach Tony Randiraya has also etched his name in the record books, becoming the first coach to win a back-to-back titles with the 2 different teams, having lifted the title with the Zimbabwe last season. That is not all. As they say, home is the best, and it paid off for Kamabili and Knowledge Msona, who have finally gotten their first domestic league title. Looking ahead, the Mavugo-based side will now focus on a debut appearance in the CAF Champions League next year.
When you invest in something, it pays off. Because you put all your heart there, you put all your effort there to get good results. We have already started preparations for the CAF Champions next year.
On the investment front, more work is underway on the construction of their home ground, Mavuku No. 1 Stadium. Anna Shemrombedzi, ZBC News, Harare.
Now, 3 players from the marvelous Nakamba-sponsored football academy, Jube Hotspurs, are set for a trial stint in Belgium.
Established in 2017 by the Warriors captain Marvelous Nakamba in a bid to nurture budding football talent, the Hotspurs in Bulawayo is a living testimony that talent can blossom. 3 of the academy's under-17 boys are set for trials in Belgium next year.
Ngikujabulela sibili because sonke siyasifisa vele ukudlala overseas. Aya akawumile sisebenze lathi kakhulu. Lathi sifisa ukuba nguwe since la waqalela khona la.
Opportunity nje vele lathi singabe sifuna suka lapha to eBelgium. Into vele singabe sifuna singabantu abamnyama silandele into ezayenzwa uNakama esuka lapha to khona ngale Belgium ngaba le opportunity elikhulu kakhulu sebenza.
With varying age group from 8 up to 20 years, Njube Hotspurs now has a team in Division 2 League, and club chairperson Trust Chizunza is confident of nurturing talent.
Kakhulu ngosizo lwakhe because abantu abaningi baphumile from drugs and the crime community. Everyone is happy. Abantu from as early as 8 years up to under 20s. So he's playing a very, very big role in the community too. And sibisethi into ezikhambele kahle uzaqhubeke asincedisa ngaleyo ndlela.
Asho ukuthi wanomkoma nathi no stand still. Because bafana bedu akuwa nasho kuita pa ma days wayo. Abajaswera iri mutara wachita kunoma zvinodhaka.
Hayi mina ngilabantu abayithula lapha ama-twins uShane loWayne. Sisenjuwe lapha siyizakhamizi lapha. So lami ngibona kukuhle kakhulu into esenziwa ngobhuti Nakamba.
Ngenxa yokuthi abantwana batshona bendawonye besemidlalweni webhola, so kuyayenza ukuthi abantwana mabetshayisa emidlalweni webhola bebe sebesiya ezindlini.
Jube Hotspurs were crowned under-17 Zifa Bulawayo provincial champions, and the Marvelous Nakamba Foundation believes the future looks bright for upcoming stars with another edition of the Nakamba tournament set for the end of the year.
The main emphasis of the project is to keep abantwana from entweni zama-drugs. Lokubapha i-opportunity ukuthi maybe one or we might find 1 or 2, 3 guys now we see overseas. As it is, we've got about 3 guys who might be going to Belgium for amateur trials.
Already Prosper Padera made a breakthrough after sealing a move to Finland through the Marvelous Nakamba Junior Football Tournament. Mthokozi Stube, ZBC News, Bulawayo.
The Zimbabwe national cricket team, the Chevrons, are once again under the spotlight after suffering a 3rd consecutive T20 series defeat to Afghanistan at Harare Sports Club.
The dust may have settled at Harare Sports Club, but for Zimbabwe cricket, they won't remain fresh after another series loss. Afghanistan came and completed a 3-0 T20 international whitewash, their 3rd consecutive over Zimbabwe, underlining a widening quality gap between the two sides. After a winless tri-series beating South Africa and New Zealand in July, one would have guessed that some lessons were learned, only to realize that the dark patch continues. From baiting collapses to selection controversies, Zimbabwe's cricket problems are no longer about bad luck, but about bad choices. Tweet by Zim Cricket Buzz and fan of Zim Cricket have captured the mood a frustrated fan base that feels the national side is being crippled by poor selection and recycled strategies. The warning signs came early as Zimbabwe were bundled out for 127 runs, losing by 53 runs in the opener. Only young Brian Bennett and debutant Tinotenda Maposa offered resistance. This second match brought little improvement as another top-order collapse and another defeat came, this time by 7 wickets. By the time the third match arrived, the damage was done. Afghanistan posted a daunting 210 runs for 2, and though Zimbabwe fought back with their best chase of the series, they fell 9 runs short. For Zimbabwe, Sikandar Raza was once again the standout, scoring 89 runs at an average of 29.66 across 3 matches, followed closely by Brian Bennett, who averaged 29, showcasing maturity beyond his age. Their efforts alone, however, could not help deal with the cracks in an unbalanced side. Behind the numbers lies a deeper crisis. While Afghanistan have built a production line of youngsters from Rahmanullah Gobath and Ibrahim Zadran, Zimbabwe's domestic league remains semi-professional, underfunded, and uncertain. The result is a widening gulf between raw talent and international readiness. As Afghanistan look ahead to the World Cup, Zimbabwe are left searching for answers and accountability. 3 matches, 3 defeats, and 1 uncomfortable truth remains. Until Zimbabwe confronts its internal challenges, every new series will feel like a replay of the last. Reynald Ngwarati, ZBC News.
Aptly put there. Now, defending Premier League Netball champions Zimbabwe Defence Forces Queens managed to defend their crown for the 3rd time running, dismissing Chapungu in a decisive match of the Bulawayo bubble at the weekend.
51-36 drubbing of Chapungu and a 57-42 victory over Harare City Queens ensured ZDF Queens complete a treble in the Premier Netball League at the weekend. ZDF Queens needed to win 2 of their last 2 matches by overcoming their opponents, Harare City Queens and Chapungu Queens, both involved in the championship race to underline themselves as netball powers. ZDF Queens captain Beatrice Busu says the journey towards the 3rd crown on the trot had its own challenges.
First half yedu was tesingazivane mateams tesingazivane kuti zvakamira sei asi nekutamba nekufamba futi kwenguva takwanisa kuzoti tisvike pakutora champion league.
Harare City Queens were runners up while Chapungu Queens finished 3rd in a 16-team league. Mthokozi Stu, ZBC News, Bulawayo.
That report there from Mthokozi putting a cap on tonight's bulletin. Let's meet tomorrow. Good night.
Good night.
Tonight on Inside Business, we are focusing on the assumption of the Procurement Regulatory Authority of Zimbabwe as the president of the Africa Public Procurement Network during